best faction of Andromeda's Edge is the Space Pirates of Nightmare Cove. And there'll be a legacy with this one, matey, because back in 2012, I built a game for Facebook and ported to Amazon Kindle called Nightmare Cove. Built with a buddy of mine, it was a choose-your-own-adventure horror game. Didn't really work out. There weren't any pirates in it, but it was a lot of fun to make. And when I was developing Dwellings of Eldervale with Luke Laurie, he had a pirates faction, and I thought, ooh, this is where the pirates came from. See, they traveled through the portal from Nightmare Cove. And as we flash forward to Andromeda's Edge, we had to have space pirates, right? And that's when I wondered, could Nightmare Cove come back? And Luke thought of this lore. You see, it's a motley crew of space aliens, and they're offering the thrill of anarchy to those trapped in the mines and factories of the galaxy. These pirates are based in an asteroid field dubbed the Cove of Nightmares, and that's where they store the fruits of their pillages in cloaked storage units, aka vaults. You'll find out more about those in just a minute. So the first power you have as the Space Pirates of Nightmare Cove is piracy, of course, and that's where you're going to be shooting your way across the galaxy. And as you launch into occupied regions, you're going to gain a credit. That means you're going to want to run into raiders. You're going to want to run into other players. It's really good in a big player game because you're going to mix it up. Now, the best part is that in Andromeda's Edge, you might think that means you don't get to have great worker placement actions because you're getting involved into battles. But actually, in this game, you take your full action before battle, which means you're not missing out on all of those great spots. You're going to the ones occupied by other players whenever possible because you're going to get a credit. And that credit can also even help you take that action. For example, if you go to the Maximus or Odessa fields where you're spending your credits or titanium or ice to get modules, you could instead use that credit you just got. It gives them a leg up, and of course, you're going to make it very interactive. Everyone's going to want to run from the pirates. That's going to mean you want to get your fighter as soon as possible because fighters can attack and launch into occupied regions as your first launch. Now, your second power, what do you get for causing all those fights? Well, the second power is called Flag of Death. Of course it is. Now, if you win a fight, you can spend a resource to push up one space advance on the commerce track. Now that is a track that doesn't have any immediate benefit, but at the end of the game, it's huge. In fact, there's BGG threads saying, is it too big? Well, the space pirates are gonna risk a lot to find out. You see, if you win a fight and you go up the commerce track, you can reach Vault 1 or Vault 2. Now, at the end of the game, your resources are worth nothing, but if you reach Vault 1, everything you have, all that booty on your space station, that's gonna be worth a point each. That means your energy, your credits, your nanocarbon, your titanium, your ice, and your cards, everything is a point. And if you reach Vault 2, well, everything's 2 points, and that's a game changer. So the Space Pirates are going to have this drive to push up the commerce track. And of course, the other track that they're known to be excelling in is Supremacy. You get to go up Supremacy when you win fights, so they're naturally going to want to cause fights. I actually played against Grant Lyon as the Space Pirates of Nightmare Cove, and he really got excited about coming into occupied regions and wrecking all of my plans. It's a faction that I think is going to be hit or miss for people because either it's going to work out, all your dice rolls are going to go great, you're going to wreck things, you're going to have fun, and you're going to win and use your Flag of Death, or you're going to find out what happens if you're in the scrapyard. So what I think as playing this faction, I'd be prepared for anything that could happen, and you're going to want to get a lot of cards to swing battles your way. But let's talk about your special ship, because of course the NIGHTFLAG is a fighter, and you're going to be able to use that to do what fighters do and attack occupied regions. But also, when you return to station, you get a very cool benefit from the NIGHTFLAG. You get to go use anybody else's tableau, anyone else's space station. Because, you know, you're pirates, you're crashing into the other ships, you're going to be able to use any module on someone else's space station. Now, what's important to note is that you're evaluating that module from your perspective, and you can't use modules that are either damaged or that don't have a moon in their input slot. So the same restrictions for the player that owns the module are going to apply to you. So you can't use everything, and some of the benefits that they're getting are not necessarily yours, but there are a lot of juicy modules out there, and you're going to take the one that's best for you when you pull back with that fighter. And then your fighter returns right back to your station, so it's not like you're blocking that for anybody else. You're just using everyone's ill-gotten gains for your own benefit. Another great feature of the NIGHTFLAG is that it has shields, which means you can attack without fear, knowing that you won't be in the scrapyard and you'll be able to use its power when you return to station. Now, the strategy that I have when I'm playing the Space Pirates is, of course, to go to occupied regions. It's, of course, to build up on the supremacy in the commerce tracks, which means building spaceports, building obelisks, and, of course, you know, getting cards so that you can fight. You know, if you get a lot of those red battle cards, people are going to be absolutely fearing you all over the board. It's a lot of fun to play as the Space Pirates of Nightmare Cove. I love the fact that it harkens all the way back to one of my first games ever created, and I hope you enjoy talking like a pirate out in space.